there to give them a chance to battle it out, at least get it out of their system so the bully knows that he can't do this without recourse. And the guy that struck him back, he says, wow, I had the nerve to fight back. I'm proud of myself. It's a good way to become a man. You have to have these rites of passage, and it's not a rite of passage if there's no physical consequence to it.
Absolutely.
Now, let's see, somebody says, my nephew is currently being bullied, so my sister is leaving him with me for the break and his training will begin. Now, I would suggest that what you do is you start enrolling your sons, daughters too, in martial arts. Make sure it's not one of these where they get fancy and all of this, but they get into fighting, because it's still about who can take a punch, who can hit hardest, who knows what's doing. Hell, I've taken it for 55 years, so
regular or mixed martial? Regular or mixed martial?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Get something that'll teach you how to hit hard, avoid getting hit, and do some takedowns. So there's Hapkido, Shotokan, Taekwondo, etc., etc. You can get advanced. You can go to the Indonesian art forms like Pinyat, Silat. And my brother was one of the 3 grandmasters in the world of that. He was a Pindecker, which has to be a title, is a title awarded by the Indonesian government. He was head of something he'd come up with within arm's reach that he taught as a consultant to the instructors for Navy SEAL Team 1. And I think he had 5 people, 6 people, 5 people on Navy SEAL Team 6 that were on the Bin Laden raid. He taught it to MI5. CIA would come down and consult with him all the time, and he was an executive producer on my show. It was good to keep the peace. He had, 14 black belts in karate. He was 10th Dan in 9 of them. He was a kung fu grandmaster. He had a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and judo. I mean, this dude's bona fide badass. When we started hanging around together 55 years ago, he had a 36-inch waist and a 56-inch chest and weighed 280 pounds, and he could bench 400 pounds when he was 19, and he got stronger in his old age, and he died at 74. Complications from an operation. He was acknowledged as one of the most dangerous humans in the world. I mean, so this dude was the real deal. So I taught him to shoot 55 years ago, and he started teaching me martial arts. So my old man taught me how to shoot when I was 6 years old. So that's been almost 70 years ago. And I'm not bad at it. When I'm looking at it, and the gun's looking at it, we connect.
I have a guest for you.
What's that?
I have a guest for you, Racheal. Racheal, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
How y'all doing? Good evening, Judge Joe Brown and The Wise TV. Pleasure to be up here with y'all. I came up here because I was the one that asked the question about the cameras in the schools and stuff like that. I do have a petition roaming around for people to sign so that we could put these cameras into our schools. The reason is because I was somebody that actually had one of the worst experience in the classroom, and I know there's probably other parents out here that had worse experience than me, but for some reason don't speak up. I spoke up because my son was being bullied in school. He's autistic, he has ADHD and stuff like that. He had all the services. I was fighting to get his services in the classroom. But at the time, I wasn't experienced. I didn't know the stuff that I had to know. He got into an altercation.
Let me say this. Your son does not come in that category I've been talking about. He's got special needs. I'm very familiar with autism.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I used to be a school teacher myself, and a very, very good friend has somebody who's been autistic, and he's done pretty doggone well. I consider the kid, he's in his late 20s now, as a personal friend. He's gone to college. He's managed with his mother's assistance to overcome stuff. And guess what? He just got his black belt in a form of karate.
That's good. I'm trying to get my son. They recommended boxing for him. He's into the mixed martial arts.
That works. It's not so much the form. And let me say this about a black belt. If you have a black belt, that means you just got the equivalent of a high school diploma. You haven't gone on to postgraduate or graduate stuff, you see. You still haven't gotten a college degree. That comes later. That just means you've learned the basics.
Yeah.
But get him in martial arts, any kind, boxing, Brazilian kickboxing, mixed martial arts. And it was interesting. I got into that as a spectator. It developed that 4 of my regular cameramen on my show were deep into mixed martial arts. And it was funny. So there are 4 cameramen in there that could whip on somebody that got out of hand. Our deputy first, Miss Holly, and then Miss Sonia had actually been deputy sheriffs and bailiffs for real. They could. And my brother, his name, by the way, he's the late Cliff Stewart, Dr. Cliff Stewart of Los Angeles, California. A Pendeca for Peanut Sealot, the one I was describing. He's lurking in the background. I said, man, you really don't want to get out of hand. And I'll tell everybody to stand down so you can come up here. We'll have it all on camera, and I have frustrations and aggressions I'd love to display. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think a lot of us parents need to stand up a little more. That's why I came up with the petition, because it's kind of hard. Like, these kids can't fight for themselves. When I went to court, I had both 2 public defender lawyers tell me to have my son give up his rights because there was nothing that could be done. I kept searching. I kept looking. Like, no matter what, like, I stopped. At the moment, they had me diagnosed with bipolar depression and PTSD, and they had me on an SSI check. I was willing to give everything up. I gave it all up. Like, I don't care if I stood in a shelter, but I want my son to get represented by a lawyer that won't have me give up his rights. Because I believe, though, like, he had an incident with a little girl. He shouldn't have hit a little girl back. But the teacher should have handled the situation a different way, because my son went up to her to ask for help. She ignored my child. And that led to the incident between the 2 kids. So when the situation got heated and they ended up in that, she gripped my son up. She pushed him to a wall, called him crazy. She dragged him on the floor, threw him out the classroom, and slammed the door in his face. My son got up and reacted back in defense, which he shouldn't have done. But at that moment, he saw it another way. He didn't see it like we saw it. So instead of her, she didn't call his STS. She didn't call the principal. She didn't do nothing. It's like she got into it like if she was one of them kids. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you was a high school teacher. You went to college. You did all this. You knew my son had problems. You should have went and got his help. He had STS. It's not like he didn't have the services in the school. So that situation led to that. She tried to press charges on my son. And says, I didn't know what to do until I went online. I went on social media asking for help. I was not going to give up. I was not going to have my son do 15 to 20 years behind bars. Let me ask you a
question. How old was your son?
11 years old, his first offense.
How old was your son?
11 years old, his first offense when it happened. Yes, he's 16 11? Now. Yes. He's 16 now. I wonder.
Something I disapprove of. Do you want these children to grow up and forget all of the stuff you have to do with children? And they're such sweet little darlings until the inevitable may or may not happen. And then all of a sudden you want to treat them as adults in terms of what you do to them?
Exactly. That's what made me fight the way I'm fighting. And I noticed that on my fight and my journey these past 3 years, I've noticed that a lot of parents are scared to speak up. because the school says this or school says that. I'm like, you could fight that if you find a good lawyer. Like, there's a lot of lawyers that will take the case. Like my son, the lawyer that took my son's case here in
Well,
Philadelphia, and he
I
helped. Like,
got a
he's a
better
real good
way of
lawyer.
fighting it.
I don't.
I got a
I was
better
young
way
at
of
the
fighting. Well,
moment.
not necessarily the lawyer. Not necessarily the
Oh,
lawyer, but I got a good way of fighting it. You round up these mothers and get 15, 20, 35, 50 taxpayers, and you go down to the local Board of Education meeting, you get yourself put on the agenda and have something to say about that.
and that's what I've been doing for 3 years.
And
I've been doing that.
let your elected representative on the board know that if something isn't done, you intend to go recruit somebody to run against it.
I started that. I found that out a
effect.
little late. I started it. That's what made me do the petition so I could have more people behind me. But I've noticed, like I said, there's a lot of people scared to speak up, but that's your child. Like, I hear everybody complaining. I'm like, y'all doing too much complaining. None of y'all standing up. Oh, but Rachel, you're making yourself a target. Well, then let me be a target. I'm willing to go up to that office and make my stand and speak up. I'm not worried about that. What I care about is these kids having their justice, having, getting through school without getting picked on or killed or committing suicide, or like, it's already bad enough what we're going through in the communities.
And see, the other thing too, it's a punk play to go pick on somebody that's not on your level. Either they're younger than you, much smaller than you, or they have special conditions. Like
then I had this the judge that had my son's case. She told me what was it that she said? Oh, she sees teachers as heroes. I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute. So basically you just set my son up and was trying to give him a sentence because in your opinion, no man should hit a woman. No man should touch a woman as a teacher, or because teachers are considered heroes. I'm like, at that moment, I called her a feminist, not knowing what the word feminist meant. I was mad at the judge, but I still won the court case. He's right now in a private school. His behavior has changed. He's doing so much better. He's going to graduate with a coding trade, and that's right there what matters. And that's why I'm asking a lot of parents to stand up and speak up for their kids, because we can win these fights, these battles with the court system, and our kids don't got to go straight to jail and do a lifetime sentence for their first mistake. They could actually get the help they needed. He got put into I think it's called the Big Brother program first, and then from there I had all the services I needed after that.
Well, it seems like your judge got the idea. See, the judge,
she had it for my son.
Yeah. See, you can't give up trying, and one of the bad things is when the justice system, they call it that, gets it too much in its head that there is a predetermined set of values and circumstances that they need to apply without consideration for individual circumstances. That's bad. See, the judge's job is to ensure that justice and equity apply toward the end of ensuring public peace, dignity, and order. And if the judge does not understand that ultimate objective of peace, dignity, and order, then it all goes the wrong way.
Some judges just, I don't know.
Well, like, a lot of them aren't. Like, I'll give you an example. In my courtroom over this 10-year period, they did the study. This is before I got this show for 15 years. The statewide felony recidivism rate was about 80% every year. In my courtroom, I dropped it down to just 18%. There were 3 more judges that listened to me in the Memphis area, and theirs dropped down way below the statewide average. Well, it wasn't really an average. It was just the typical predicted recidivism rate, 80%. It went up and down a point or two, 78, 79, 81, 82 each year, but it stayed at 80%. So they listened and theirs dropped down, but not 18. But there's some things that you have to do when you are a judge about correcting. One of the worst things the judges do is they pronounce a sentence. Let's say the sentence involves probation. but the person is in trouble because they don't have a work ethic. They've never applied themselves. They've never tested themselves. They have no vocational skills, little academic preparation, and they're not employable. So what are you going to do when you tell this guy to do these things that require all of the above to be in place and they're not? He's going to mess up. So what you have to do is take him like you would a child and take him through step A, B, C, D, E, F, G, until you get him where he wants. And you have to be astute enough to be able to recognize where that individual is so you know where to start.
Yeah. You're right on that part, but I wish a lot of judges seeing it like that, because I think some judges
Most
are just,
don't.
I don't.
By the way, what I did as a judge is what I intend to do when I get elected as mayor of Memphis. I am running for Memphis mayor next year.
I heard that, and I'm with it.
JJB2023.com. See, a lot of people don't want to hear what I have to say because they got these namby-pamby-poo ideas that they got off the television or some dip on the local news. And they've never dealt with these things. See, I had somebody, for example, this happened to them this week. I made a remark that some feminists, young feminists, did not want to hear. They ran the Young Democratic Party, and what I said was, no, I'm not going to withdraw from this race so a black woman can be the first black female mayor of Memphis. The first female mayor of Memphis. It's a matter of qualification, experience, and acumen, and I have what's needed. And I said, as I have said earlier, the next mayor needs to have hands-on, face-to-face capability with his constituents. He needs to be able to walk anywhere in the city and the people protect him. He doesn't need an armed guard to go where he needs to go. And quite frankly, ladies, you may get upset about it. I said, but if you go certain places I can go, if you go there, somebody's going to snatch you into a vacant apartment, rape you, and that will be tragic. Now, what happened was 2 days later, after the young lady Democrats got upset by that, there were 150 people in the room, 130, 150 people. It was 20 of them upset, and the rest of them, man and woman, were giving high fives and shouting and volunteering for the campaign. Now, 2 days later, a well-to-do young woman insisted on jogging at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning around certain areas of town that were very close to certain other areas of town. And on the college campus, somebody kidnapped her, raped her, and killed her. And the person identified as a suspect had just kidnapped and raped another woman not long before. But of course, the rape kits were not tested as they should have been, and it could have caught him. But wow, we whoopee. Now, another woman who said, you shouldn't have said that, that was wrong. I said, I'm not sugarcoating anything. People need to know the facts, whether they don't like it or not. So she was telling me, you didn't have the right to tell these women that something might happen to them like that. That was awful. Guess what happened to her? Almost happened to her. She was doing some professional stuff. She is in the Hold on, I got blacked out. Somebody tried to call. This woman is into contracting, so she was doing something for a client, and she went to an apartment building right across the street from a police precinct, literally across the street, broad daylight. She was surprised the next day when the police contacted her. You know what for? She had just left the premises and somebody had broken into the apartment right next to the one she was measuring to do some renovation work on. Right as she was leaving, somebody had just come in there, busted in, raped and murdered the woman in the apartment right next to the one she was in just as she was leaving. Kind of freaked her out. She said, I never thought it would get that close to home. I thought you were exaggerating. That just gave me all kinds of chills when they told me what they wanted me to talk about. And they just wanted to ask, did I see any cars? If so, what? And describe, did I see any suspicious people? She didn't have much to observe, but I suppose it was frightening, being a confident woman, thinking everything was under control, and you just found out that but for sheer chance, you were the one that didn't get snatched, raped, and murdered. The person right next to you did. See, these are realities that are unpleasant that we all have to deal with. And if somebody won't be real with you, how are they going to correct the problems that lead to that if they don't want to deal with reality? But you are dealing with reality. I'm proud of you for taking a stand. Now push that about getting somebody to run. And you know what else you can do?
I'm listening.
Ma'am?
I'm listening.
Run yourself.
You said run myself?
Yeah, you run for the position.
Oh, I was like, oh, snap. I was saying that the other day. I never thought that in a million years, I'm 33 years old, and I just started voting a couple years ago. Never thought that in a million years I would have to get into the inside of political, like to the side of the political side to help my son and his friends out like this. Never in a million years.
And by the way, you have a zoo where you live, do you not?
Yeah, the Philadelphia Zoo.
It's a good zoo. Been there. You know what you do? When you've got nothing else to do on a weekend or during the middle of the day, if you get a lunch hour or so free, go to the zoo and go to the primate section. Watch the and the baboons, and you will see them engage in politics that look just exactly like what you see humans engage in, but on a smaller scale. It's natural.
But I'm taking all the steps. I became a block captain so that I could also help in the community and stuff like that. So I'm actually like pushing it through. Like I've had a lot of people get mad at me. They're like, Ray, you gonna start some, like it's gonna become a target. Like nobody really. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, it's our kids. Like y'all keep saying it's the kids, but none of y'all want to make a stand. The kids want to make a stand. They want to make a difference. I've heard them talk. They say it, but we're speaking for them. Thank you so much, Judge O'Brown.
I'm really so proud of you. That's what people need to be about. Get involved.
Yes, we have to. Like I've been put down, I've been dragged, but I don't care.
See, you have a perspective. You aren't going, oh my, would you pass that Chablis? That's very good. And those crackers and the cheese are so good. I love nibbling on them. What are we going to do with these issues? What are they talking about, by the way? So no, we've got a real live problem. I know what it is. I'm immersed in it. I've got some ideas.
And they so worried about the president that y'all should be sitting here voting for these mayors and governors and senators. Like everybody, when I say that, people get mad at me. Oh, the mayor, the senator ain't gonna do nothing. I'm like, well, y'all leaving it to the government to actually randomly pick them. Then y'all not going up there. Y'all fighting to see who's the next president. Like we need to sit here.
Senators, those members of the House of Representatives, they do have a lot to do with what happens to you.
And I've seen it in person.
Does, the judges certainly do, the mayor does, your state representatives, state senators certainly do, your sheriff, if you have one, does.
We do.
Get involved. Your members of the Board of Education, have something to do with it.
Exactly. And that's why I did it, because when they gave me that advice, I was like, you know what? If it's an easier way to me help my school, which the schools are right there. I'm right next to so many schools that it's not a joke. Like you turn around every corner, there's a school like 5-6 blocks away from each other.
There
like we're
you
surrounded
go.
by schools.
So
somebody has to make a stand.
Something about them.
Exactly. I was like, I'm willing to do it. Like, I'm tired of seeing my son be like, one is homeschooled. He's actually homeschooled through the Agora Cyber Charter School. And he gets tired of being in the house. But when you let these kids out, there's nothing but shootings and people wanted to take them out and just get high, like do dumb stuff in the streets. I'm like, there's no point. We just need to do better stuff. Like, I'm coming up with a little mini community center, which I'm hoping that I can get somebody, to help me. Because I had it going on like last year. I was so close to having all the money together to buy in a building, but then, personal issues happened and I'm back at square one. So when I became the block captain, I had so many people tell me like, yo, we're going to help you. Just reach out to this person. And this happened they reached out to me like a month ago. And I reached out. I'm just waiting on his response so he could guide me better on what to do in my next step to open up a little mini community center where our kids from the ages of 6 and up could actually come in and they could start their brands. They could start selling their little stuffs and collecting their little taxes and doing the stuff that they want to do after school and on the weekends. And I mean, my idea, they love it, but I just need to get, I don't know how to put it into words. I'm sorry. I just got a little nervous talking about it.
I'm even more proud of you. You've even taken another step. Now, let me tell you something else. The men where you live need to get involved in doing what you are doing.
They are. It's the women.
Well, I know, but see, part of the problem is that these boys don't know how to act men. See, if you act a man,
you're right.
Look in the mirror every day and you say, hey, man, did you act like a man yesterday? You're going to act like a man today, or you're going to prepare yourself to be a better man tomorrow? And one of the things includes we need to go out and tell these kids it's not cool to do this crazy mess. We have enough enemies going that we have to deal with without trying to take ourselves out for self-hate. See,
exactly.
What are you up to? Are you prepared to make where you live a better, safer, more secure place filled with economic prosperity, sense of purpose, morality, and ethics? A place that is prosperous, where it is filled with public peace, dignity, and order, and you can be a man of public peace and dignity, but brave and courageous when necessary. See, these are things that men are supposed to do, but they've been taught for 50 years that there should be no shame, there should be no guilt, do what you want to do. The fabric of society needs to be torn up so people can get their freak on, but that's not functional. We need to stop glorifying dysfunction and get into, if you're going to be a man, you need to start providing. Are you making where you live safe? Are you providing economically for where you live? Do you take on responsibility for your family and the people that depend on you? Or what are you doing?
I got your point now.
And you know what? Women can do a lot about that. You got a boyfriend?
I have a fiance.
Tell you what, you tell him, baby, I want you to get more involved. He might be.
He's with me. He's a co-block captain. He's actually going into the meetings with me to everything.
What you do?
He's with me on everything, and he's got the majority of the kids.
Talk to your friend girls. And you know what you tell
Yeah, that's the problem. It's the females there talking about.
Tell the friend girls. Tell them to look at their men, their significant other, and say, baby, now, you and I got a good thing going, but I like to keep it going, but you ain't getting any more until you do right. There's some things you need to be doing, and I don't like those. You don't go without it. I see maybe tomorrow you start reforming. Now, you start getting involved and mama starts feeling good again.
I like how you put the words.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, we don't normally talk like this. Like, I'm so used to everybody talking ratchet here in the hood.
Well, like I told some young men, I said, look, if you're trying to get over, you really are not. If you walk in, approach a woman, look, baby, you're going to drop your drawers because I'm going to show you what the snake all about. No, you ain't getting any damn thing. Anybody that works with you need to go run. You better.
That's why I'm with my fiance. He's real respectful, real old school, opens doors. Like, he's real respectful. He doesn't call me out my name, doesn't call nobody else out their name. Like, he's really old school.
See,
young, but old school.
For years. Protecting womanhood and childhood and promoting manhood.
Yeah, he's a fan of yours, too.
See,
my fiance.
So I run 2 miles every day. So I'm still kicking it. I like the ladies, you know. I'm not as good as I used to be, but most of the time I'm better than I ever was. But I take care of my manly business.
Oh, shit. Babe, say hi to Joe Brown.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
All right, sir. How's everything?
He's saying he's doing fine.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Glad to meet you.
Always a pleasure to talk to a good, strong brother like yourself.
Respect, sir. Respect.
Yes. Much respect given to you because in all my years knowing you and listening to you, a lot of things gave me a lot of intuition and a lot of insight on life as far as being a young black man in the woods that we live in.
All right. Well, it's good that you've prospered by that, young man. Keep up the good work. Your mother's she's giving you a good foundation there.
Yes, absolutely.
So you listen. And, you know, it's being about something. I'll tell you something, the secrets you get to learn very well when you get old. Ain't nobody getting out of this alive. So before you get out of here, make sure you did something so people will remember you for something positive. So
absolutely,
you can smile at night.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It ain't all about money either.
Yes, there's more values in life, like family, honor, and respect.
See, every man has a circle. For some, the circle doesn't even extend to their toes when they're looking down. Some, it's a big circle. Some, it's a very, very large circle. The larger the circle of people that depend on you, the more you into the man thing.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's tied right.
I hear somebody in the background.
Oh, somebody else talking?
Okay. All right. You have any questions, comments past what you've given?
Oh, man.
Remarks, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you, and I want you to just keep doing what you're doing because we need other strong brothers out here that got a platform like yourself that can reach millions of viewers and try to get through to some people who haven't got through to yet, who's not woke yet. I mean, when I say woke, I mean woke to everything that's going on around us, from the political topics to the everyday morale. You understand what I'm saying?
Become aware. In other words, be situationally aware of what's going on around you. You there? You frozen. Thank you. Another comment in the chat box.
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. You were breaking up for a moment.
A comment in the chat box here.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's all I really got to say though, man. Much respect to you. I'm gonna continue to listen to all the good information and knowledge you got, because that's the only thing we can do in this life is continue to learn. And like you said, leave a mark in this world, a good positive mark. And I'll have fun with listening and learning.
And that lady seems a very conscientious and focused young woman. All right?
Yes, and she have 100% support from me.
All right. Madam
Signing
Host.
out.
All right.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Way to
Oh,
go.
I'm so sorry.
I'm proud of you. Both
Thank
of you.
you. Thank you, writers.
All right, thank you for letting me up and speaking to y'all. I'm gonna let y'all continue talking, but it was a pleasure talking to you, Doe Eyes TV, and Just Joe Brown.
All right.
Be well.
And thank you. You
Bye
too. Thank
now.
y'all for the advice.
Madam
See y'all.
Host, I'm going to have to bail in a second.
Me too.
10 o'clock where I am.
Mhm.
To have some writing to do.
Yes, sir.